I resonate with what you're talking about. It's like, yes, the shift definitely did happen. And you can see in where I was, they were there for an interview. I saw all these people coming in. He was interviewing. And I'm like, what kind of clothes you got on? Why? You're not even dressed properly. It was mind-blowing to me, the way they go into interviews now. Cut up jeans, tank top. I was like, what?
Don't go.
Right.
Because, like, literally don't show up. It's just so different.
And I've been self-employed. I've been, had my own business and, for 30 years. So it's kind of hard for me to, when I see it, I'm just like, wait, where your slip under your, I know I'm speaking my age now because, where your stockings at? Okay. Not that I don't wear stockings anymore, but it's almost like that type of situation. And I do think that the older generation, and we should definitely have another series on this, teaching them to understand that you have got to get into this space. You're going to be left behind. When the plant scamdemic came, if it wasn't because of us doing online, we would have been stuck like other people. But because we had an online presence, we were able to monetize. Was that a good time for you? Did you make money during that time? Was that one of your most profitable times?
Yeah, so the pandemic was good. The pandemic was actually when I really got into the online space. In my brick and mortar, we had to close for like 4 or 5 months, so that was tough. But we did move to the online space there too. So I think a lot of lessons were learned, especially for us who were strictly brick and mortar. We knew we had to do something else. But it was a good time to get into the online space because I got quite a few clients just because, I had got myself online, I got into Clubhouse. I got into a lot of different things that were...
Yeah, Clubhouse did help a lot of folk.
Yeah. So it was a good time for me. It was a good time.
Yeah, I think that people took advantage of it, understood that was a time to take advantage of it. Like right now with the election going on at this moment in time, women power, people of color, being able to show, the dynamics of what we can do and turning your talents into some type of profit, creating these Facebook groups. There's a woman who created a group. She's not monetizing it, right? And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? She's not collecting emails. I was like, you just letting people in the group and you don't get any email? And maybe because it's funny because I actually went back to school for interior design and for internet marketing because that's what I used to do. And if it wasn't for me doing that, I wouldn't have understood the dynamics of what was getting ready to come. And that was over 10 years ago. That was 15 years ago when I went back to school. And so when I see the things that are happening now, like people like yourself, like you said, you had to pivot, and that's what's important. You had a brick and mortar company and you pivoted to an online space. So the question is, can you make money online?
Yes, you can. You can make money like that. I think that also speaks to a larger entrepreneurial foundational skill in pivoting. Because no matter what industry you're in, whether it's brick and mortar, online, hybrid, you're gonna have to make a pivot at some point if you want to be sustainable. Like nothing stays the same forever, and the way that technology is progressing, especially with AI involved now more than it has been in the past, I think a lot of people are gonna be making pivots in different industries and not seeing it coming. And if you're someone who is resistant to change or you don't have good change management skills, you're going to find it very difficult to stay in business or stay employed, because the only thing constant really is change. Think about it. And so because of that, I think if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be ready and willing to change. So yeah, I think that's a foundational thing for an entrepreneur. It's like, just know that your industry is going to experience a shakeup probably every 3 to 5 years. Are you ready?
It's going to be a serious, especially with the AI, right? They were talking about Amazon, how the machines, did you see that? How they have the robots in there? It's like 100,000 or something like that. And I was just like, this turning into that Will Smith movie.
Well, so there's a couple things. So I'm an engineer. That's what my degree is actually in. So AI is not new. The application of AI is new.
Right.
I was using AI in high school.
Right. We've always had a level of AI. Our cell phones are partially AI.
Yeah. Google uses it, like the way that the search engine works, it uses AI. It uses machine learning to determine what your preferences are and sends you different things that you may like, send you different apps that you may like. Also on your phone, when it does when those like Google Photos does it, but a lot of apps do it, can take your pictures that you've taken and put them in an album for you. That's AI. Like, it's basically reading what's on the picture, right? Because like my Google Photos app does it all the time. I'll go to the beach, it'll take this beach photo, and it'll reach back in my album and take a beach photo I took like a year ago and give me all the things from the beach. Like, here you go, here's a beachy crystal, and they name it for you. Like,
right, and they put
AI.
a song to it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's AI. But I do think part of it too is human error on our part for companies getting robots. And I say this a lot. I talk a lot with my business owner friends about this in terms of like the workforce and how really a lot of people are shooting themselves in the foot, complaining how there's no jobs, but like, yeah, what I see is people don't want to go to work.
That's definitely true. I think also the plant pandemic did something with that too. They already didn't want to work beforehand, but now they're like, shoot, I can collect the check and not do nothing. I really think it conditioned people that way.
I do think that it's going to be a rude awakening where businesses on a whole pivot from the traditional workforce because they're not able to get people in the door to work. And I think people are going to make a decision. Either you want to work or you don't. If you don't, you can't complain that businesses have decided that AI and robots are going to take their job because it's going to be cheaper. I don't want to see anybody like lose their way to make a living, but at the same time, it's kind of like I would rather have a person because I think human interaction. But if we can't get the same caliber of the workforce that we had prior to, but we got to pay them more. How does that really affect you? I think people don't understand basic economics.
Right.
That's also a problem.
I saw a robot putting a spackle on the ground. I was like, Jesus, the construction people gonna be out of business, you know? Then the shipping gonna be out of business. Then the deliveries you got the drones making deliveries now, even though somebody's behind it.